Hello everyone, I have returned to Cypresswood for a different kind of a challenge. This is a solo practice round. I've got 3 essential discs with me, an AVR, a rock, and a leopard, and I will elaborate more on the course. Alright, so for the driver that I'm going to try, I'm going to be using, I've got the Leopard 3. This is in Star Plastic, this Leopard 3 is in Glow, Champion Glow. And this is a Infinite Discs Centurion. These all are effectively the same disc. They have the exact same wing length. They have the same shape effectively, as near as I can tell. And outside of the parting line height for this, they all are essentially very close to each other. So that's the reason I'm using these 3. They're the 3 closest drivers I have to each other, plus they're built more for my level of the game, so that's what I'm going to be using for drivers. For mid-ranges, I'm using a disc I don't typically use out on the course because I use different ones for different things, but I have 2 that are identical, 173 grams in DX plastic. These are your standard rocks that are out there. This is DX Glow, this is DX, but I just want to use these to test standstill upshots, whereas the drivers are going to be used to try to test my cross step, because I'm going to try to implement a little of that in this practice round. Lastly, I have 5 AVR putters in DX plastic. These I'm going to use just for practicing, and basically when I get close enough to the basket, I'm going to try to putt all 5 of these in, just to sort of build on that. You know, I always practice at home when I can on a basket of my choice that's there, but I never practice on these, and that's something I need to do, so why not implement this into my training routine. Alrighty, wish me luck. Wah. This one I just got today, I don't even have my name and number on it, so I hope I don't lose it. That one's going to be something. Alright, so my Leopard was just over there. My Centurion was actually much further. And technically that was the best shot. But this one I'm taking because it's technically the worst shot, but it's also a good 200. I'm about halfway between the tee pad and the basket. I think I'm about 100 plus from there. Just shot 200 from there. So now I'm going to practice standstills. That was unfairly good. Like, it was lucky, good luck. That wasn't what I was intending to do. So I'm trying to stagger these instead of having, I've got to be facing that. And then instead of doing that, I need to pull through and not dip. I think I dipped. Alright, so those are the 2 upshots. I'm definitely going to have to work on that part of my game. Alright, so technically this is the better of the 2 shots, and it's the closest one to the basket. I've done absolutely no putting practice today, so that's where this is going to come in. It's a multitasking. Stance, grip, line, grip. Wow. Pretty good. Let's see what the distance works out to be. Okay, so that was putting from 30 feet. So it's amazing if I just spend a little more time focusing how more accurate I can be compared to what I've been doing. I've moved the camera back slightly more so it's like you can see the full run up, which I'm doing. But again, 3 attempts at going that way using a cross step. That was a really good throw. Ignore the tree that it hit, but given that I'm really here to learn the cross step and not to screw up my throws. Man, this is harder for me to do than it is probably for y'all to watch, but I thank you for watching anyways, putting up with this learning experience. Yeah, I didn't do that good at all. Completely messed up the cross step. This cross step is hard. It's much harder for me. So this is the best out of 2 good throws and completely admitting a terrible throw. Let's try standstill approaches. I got extremely lucky there. Let's try it again, not as much heat, a little more control. Staggered. It's got to be offset. Too much heat, too high. Man. Alrighty, both of these sailed quite a bit. We're going to putt from back here because it's a little closer. Putting this on top. Stance, grip, line. Alright, so as you can tell, that those putts were probably from about 45 feet. Didn't measure exactly, but it was significantly longer than the putts I was trying on hole 1. That's okay. I'm just kind of trying to practice good technique and steps, even if I can't actually, get it in the basket or anything like that. That's really not what this is for. The number 1 focus for today is the cross step, but subsequently better standstill and putts, and that's kind of the order. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do some more throws. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to start from further back because these tee pads are only 10 feet long and my step naturally requires more than 10 feet. I'm not even trying to go for full power throws. I'm trying to focus on accuracy, so about 8% power, but my throws are definitely much worse. Alrighty, so technically I'm within 100 feet, so I can try to approach with these putters, but I think I'm just going to practice a little bit with these 2 mid-ranges. Just see how close I can get. That's pretty good. Try a little lower. About typical. Alrighty, so that one is a tap in, so I need to practice putting from about 30. Stance, grip, line, rip, That's actually the best putting I've ever done on any course. Let's see how many feet that is. So that's 27 feet. So as you might imagine, I'm happier with my approaching and my putting than my drives, but particularly because my drives are using the cross step. But let's see how this plays out down the fairway. Ow, that hurt my neck. It's another reason I don't really like doing the cross step, because I tend to hurt myself when I attempt it. I'm going to do a standstill just to give myself a boost of ego because the cross step isn't working. Staggered. I shot that way too high. I did the dipping motion. Alrighty, so every one of these was terrible, and I'm gonna just practice up shots using a standard, be staggered, try to do like, not like that, not like that, just like this. Try to bring it in to the power pocket. The release angle was terrible on that. Let's see. Try it again. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. Alrighty, so there's not a line really between here and the basket. As you can see, there's a tree in front of it. So when have I let that stop me? Four terrible, one good. Alrighty, so I didn't finish putting on that last hole mainly because I wanted to get up to this hole. Young gentleman by the name of Andy gave me a couple pointers on the cross step, and I threw a disc off camera just to sort of test it. And I'm going to try to replicate that on camera with the two remaining drivers that I've got. And actually I did have time to go pick up the disc and come back, so now I'll go ahead and practice throwing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice from the position where I should be achieving the cross step. So that's automatically worse than what I just did off camera. Alright, so of the three I threw, this is the furthest one back, but it's out in the fairway, so I can practice my standstill. So I'm going to use this. Staggered. I'm throwing too far back. I need to find a way of looking when I do this. Problem is my release point is the same point way back here. So I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really see the value in making videos of me struggling to learn. I want to put out videos of me doing something good, but at this point I'm not really doing that. Let me show you how far I can putt. It's about 65 feet. So that's why I tend to throw when I'm past the 60-foot mark. That was me doing that too much. It came out like that. That was with an advanced hyzer. Alrighty, so here's the bad news. Here's my nemesis hole with a set of trees in front that I'm not going to attempt with my cross step, so I'm going to do it with my standstill. See if I can get these discs beyond it. Staggered. Staggered.
That'll do.
That's a birdie look.
That's pretty good.
Alright, one last. Staggered. Alright, too bad, one good. Let's see what I've got. Alrighty, so this is 18 feet away by my measurements. And before I putt, I want to point out that Andy, the person that worked with me on the previous hole for a few minutes off camera, he was 100 feet away from this basket and threw it in. Pretty impressive. I'm just putting that here since obviously we couldn't record it, but I want it noted. And the sun is really bright. Stance, grip, line, hit the signpost. Sailed that to the right. Shade out light. Alrighty, my other nemesis hole, I have 4 nemesis holes here, so it's not an exclusive club. But let me see what I can do with cross step. That's not a winning attitude. I must be dipping to cause me to throw up like that. That was me shanking. Alrighty, so the sun is going to set soon. I've got limited time and holes to play. I'm going to try to focus more to play like I normally play. So stance completely, the discs, the feet are completely parallel with each other. I'm just going to try to throw it normally. Alright, so the other rock was actually much closer to the basket, a bit deep in those woods, but I'm here to practice. So let's try to use good golf, not just practicing throws, but let me try to be smarter about my throws. Only that last one was dialed in. Those other throws were not. Alrighty, so it's crunch time and I'm going to stop practicing a form I'm not good at on camera because I don't think it makes for a good video, and also I think it's actually making me worse. So I'm going to go back to the way I normally play disc golf, hopefully, for the last holes here. See, I at least threw that right. So I'm going to have to commit to playing something that I can do. So I'm driving badly, but consistently, so it turns into something useful. That was about 200 feet. that I cooked it from landing too close. Yep, too low. There we go. And that was with terrible form, of course. But I was able to get something that was useful in a game. Alrighty, so as you can see here, my pink rock made it approximately 200 feet, and my white Champion Glow Leopard 3 actually made it more close to 215, 220 feet. So this is what I would technically practice with mid-ranges. That's pretty good. That's in putting range. So just focus and play like I normally do. A little too high. And I sent it too strong. I was trying to rein it back a little bit. Unfortunately, I pulled it a little too hard. Alrighty, I have just enough daylight to complete this hole, so I'm going to try that using my normal disc golf techniques. And I only expect to get a bogey on every hole that I play. Like when I'm playing disc golf, if I'm playing an average game, I expect a bogey every hole. So if I play a course with 9 holes, I'll get a +9. If I play a course with 18 holes, I'll get a +18. Now if I'm playing good, I might be able to have that. So I might get 4 or 5 on a 9-hole course, or a 9, maybe 10 on a 18-hole course. And of course, some are harder than others. Some holes are harder than others on certain courses, so that will vary. Regardless, the big problem Sean and I have had is that we're trying to implement changes, but it's throwing us off. So we are both playing more poorly than normal. So if you've watched our, 2-3 previous games before this one, notwithstanding the immediately previous video, which we did pretty good and had more fun, it's just very problematic, for lack of a better word. And so we're going to try to focus on our game as it is and have fun. And if we happen to learn and get better over time, we will. But I think focusing on dedicated practice sessions where we're doing too many changes at once and it's not working with the rest of what we're doing, I think it's just making for bad videos. So that's why I'm making this video, because I wanted to have this little discussion for my audience, for my subscribers, because I'm almost about to hit 1,000 subs, which I'm grateful for. But I want to provide better content, and us struggling to learn is not as entertaining, in my opinion, as us just playing the game and enjoying it and just letting the strokes fall where they land. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and throw 3 times, just the way I normally do, and we're just going to see what happens. Alright. So that was too low. I've got to adapt. There we go. That's about what I wanted. Too high though, so I need a compromise. About maybe right there. There we go. See, when I do things my way, I can learn and get better, even though my form is not technically correct. Alright, so all 3 of those were, in my opinion, great throws for me. Anywhere between 180 and 220 feet. So I'm just going to keep playing the way I normally do. And I think I'll have more fun. A lot more fun. See, here's my worst throw. I'm about 30 feet away, 40 feet away from the basket. My second best throw, the middle of the road throw, is next to my bag over there. And even closer is one over there. So I think if I just play my game and try to get better at my game, I think that's the better course of action to take. Because I think if I just focus on my game and get better at it, even though it's not technically perfect, and it doesn't hurt me, none of this hurts, I think I'll focus on that. everybody, thank you very much for watching this video. I wanted to just sort of put something out there to update my audience as to what my thoughts are on how things have been going recently and what I'm going to focus on. Bottom line is I'm going to focus on playing my game as it is, and Sean's going to do the same. We're just going to try to get better doing that, and if we learn how to get better over time, I think that's what we're going to do. But I think these concerted efforts to try to get better is serving us badly, and we'll just have to work on things off camera. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.